right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for another episode of the Chasing Waypoints podcast. We're on the special schedule these next few weeks, actually, the next couple of weeks. Going to try and keep up with the rally, but a lot coming on. That's right, it is the Dakar Rally of 2022. So last night, while we were asleep, it was the prologue stage. And not bad, as to be expected. If you guys saw the standings and what it was looking like, there was definitely some surprises to some, but to others it was like, yep, this makes total sense. So, today they are less than, let's check the official countdown, 55 minutes and 35 seconds from the start of the very first stage of the Dakar Rally. Prologue doesn't really count for much other than deciding who's leading out the day today. So let's talk a little bit about that. Turn the party down here. Let's talk about today's starting order. So if you guys were keeping up and checking it out, I'm sure you guys could see what happened yesterday and how they all stacked up. But let's take a look. Let's see, things that we know as we ever so professionally turn down the party here. Let's head on over to, took a screenshot of this because I knew it was going to be a lot quicker to get back into it. So here we go. Stage number 1 of the Dakar 2022 rally, or 22 Dakar Rally. Let's see, it looks like we've got leading the day out is going to be Maciej Giemza. Martin Mikczak 2, Luciano Benavides 3, Ricky Brabeck 4, Joaquin Rodriguez 5, Joan Barreda Bort 6, Andrew Short 7, Toby Price 8, Sam Sunderland 9, Adrian Van Buren 10, Matthias Wagner 11, Kevin Benavides 12, Ross Branch 13th, Pablo Quintanilla in that 14th, and Daniel Sanders 15th. A couple spots down from there, I believe it's going to be Mason Klein. 17th yesterday on the prologue stage, which puts him at a pretty good spot to get some tracks in front of him. We'll see how that is going to shake down for today's stage. So, speaking of today's stage, let's take a look at this and what we have got going on here. All right, so today's stage is a total of 514 kilometers. 333 of those kilometers will be special stage or timed and contribute to their total time. Then you have the liaison, which is going to be 181 kilometers. Now, remember, liaison is the distance between the bivouac, the start line, and the finish line, and the bivouac once again. So that could be split up in two pieces, or you could be literally starting directly from the bivouac or finishing directly in the bivouac. So there's a couple different combinations that can occur there, but usually you got a little something before and a little something after. Yesterday's prologue was definitely an interesting one, as there was a ton of kilometers traveled, but only 19 kilometers actually, quote-unquote, raced. So as to be expected, you could see some of the teams were kind of down on time and not really showing their cards yet, because you maybe necessarily don't want to be the first one out on the stage. To be specific, yesterday's was 614 kilometers total, but yet only 19 kilometers, quote unquote, raced. And I say that because it's the prologue, it's 19, it really doesn't count. All it is qualifying. So let's see here. So let's go back to that. So once again, today's stage is going to be 514 kilometers, 333 kilometers of special, and 181 kilometers of liaison. That is how it breaks down. So let's look at the stage description directly from the Dakar app. If you guys haven't downloaded this, you got to get on it. Definitely really cool. Last night it worked flawlessly for me. As we're celebrating New Year's, I'm getting alerts from people or that my favorite riders had started the stage and were out and about. And so that was really cool. And then afterwards I was getting alerts of, comments, quotes, and things like that. So the Dakar app this year so far, day one, working awesome. So directly from the Dakar app, the mountainous landscapes of northern Saudi Arabia contribute to the contrasts of the Dakar route. Sand is already on the menu for now and in the shape of tracks. Be warned that this special is riddled with fiendish navigation puzzles typical of the country. The focus will be on co-drivers, as any competitor who try to take shortcuts will immediately be slapped with time penalties. So this already sounds like a stage I would not want to lead out on, but it looks like we're going to have, let's see, who's going to, Maciel leading first, Martin Micek second, Luciano Benavides third, and Ricky Brabeck fourth. So those two guys, I think, are in a good spot to maybe set out early and establish something. But we'll see. The guys further back, like Toby Price and Sam Sunderland, Matthias Wagner, no strangers to racing, are definitely going to be benefit from having a few tracks in front of them. So looking forward to that one. So let's head on back to the Dakar app. Let's see what else kind of stuff we can find today. Let's look at the stage breakdown. 57% sand today, and then it is going to be, and I should say for us tonight, but for them today. Then got 10% dirt, 0% tarmac, 0 stones. Dunes is 33%. So definitely going to be interesting. So sand with tracks, not a bad deal. Just some tricky riding, probably pretty fun for a lot of these guys. The dirt, that is the 10%. I think that's where a lot of our guys in from the U.S. benefit the most, racing here in some pretty gnarly stuff. And so I think that is where they're going to benefit the most from it. But unfortunately, that's only 10% of today's stage. Although the sand stuff, not to be left too far behind on there, but the dunes, the 33% dunes is the tricky part with the HP navigation. So no tracks. You're going to be following basically, here's the waypoint. This is where it's supposed to be more or less. Head in this direction, and then hope you get it. So it's a little bit more difficult to navigate that kind of stuff. It's literally, this vast landscape of dunes. And for those of you playing the home game, HP navigation is basically, here's a point in the middle of nowhere and you got to find it a little bit more hidden. It's not going to be, it's not going to have tracks necessarily leading to it. But if you're not at the front and you've got a few tracks to follow, it's going to help you get to those points a little bit quicker, or you may be able to find some shortcuts in between. So it will be interesting today to see how it shakes down. Again, this is the first day that the teams will get a chance to stretch the legs on the bikes and get an idea of what they're going to be doing. We're going to have another 11 days of this to go. So this should be very interesting. Let's see if I don't butcher it here. We can see. So today's DSS, so that's Depart Special Stage or Start Selective Section. I cannot see where it is. Let's see. And then we've got the ASS. So let's take a look at the map. Let's see if we could get a better idea. So it looks like they're doing, they're going to have a short stage. It looks like, let's see here. Let's go over one more. Look at this. Let's see. They got the qualifying stage up. They have the stage description, but they're not showing the breakdown. So that was actually my bad. Look at that. Yesterday's profile. So this is interesting. In the app, they're actually kind of hiding the stage profile to some extent and the map itself. At least it's not loaded right now. They've got just the stage descriptions. So this should be, let's see, where are we at now? Everybody should be getting lined up. We're at 52 minutes from the start of the rally. Or of stage one, I should say. Let's go back here. Let's see who else has got. We got some Instagram news going. Nothing there. Let's head over to, again. This is a pretty cool. Getting everything. I think it's funny. I just checked the website to try and get some of this information as well. And it wasn't necessarily the easiest to find any kind of info. So I literally just jumped right back into the app, which I found was a little bit easier to navigate and find things to take a look at. So so that is what we have got. Let's see. So it looks like today, according to this, is just actually supposed to be a loop stage today. So I know I'm not going to pronounce this correctly, but I believe it's Hail, and it is going to be a start and finish there. So they're going to do a loop out for today's stage there. Again, that's 514 kilometers total today, 333 kilometers in special and 181 kilometers liaison. Now, something I was curious to see, and I spotted this on Instagram, but somebody posted a video update of them in their motorhome and rain coming down. So that was a little interesting. Or at least that's what it sounded like. So I don't know if it was actual rain. Are these guys going to be treated to some wet sand and dirt? And yeah. And so on the feed right now, and actually the first video that pops up for me is Mason Klein as of 53 minutes ago, already up. He's got the warmers on, those big old bags to go over the handguards to keep his hands warm. And he's still in his vans. Okay, so he's not ready as of an hour ago. But again, that was an hour ago. It only takes a few minutes to gear up. So we will see how he does. Again, 17th for him yesterday. So I think that's a good position. Definitely going to have some people to follow, some tracks to follow, and could be a really good setup for his first stage with the Dakar. So I'm definitely curious to see how that rolls down. I know he is competing in the motorcycle class, obviously not up with the Rally Pro guys, but still they're definitely mixing these guys up and making sure they're on par with their times rather than just by class. So looking forward to seeing how that goes. Again, for those playing the home games, even though they are, if you're looking at the standings and you're looking at the results, usually what you're going to see is a mixture of everybody just kind of piled into the same class. Typically, the rally, they're going to manage it based on the times for the competitors overall on the stage, regardless of their class. This allows the competitors to be ranked based on their, I guess you could say, based on their skill level and what they're doing, rather than giving the constant advantage. And this is something that I was talking with my friend Gnarly Dave today, which, speaking of which, it's finally going to happen. We're going to have him on the show finally, so looking forward to that. But anyway, back to the subject. So we were talking about that today, and it's definitely one of those things where you think, well, you know, if you separate up my class and that lets the pros run with the pros and these guys, yeah. But then there's a valid point that came up in the conversation is that, so if you're a rally pro guy and then you've got a rally 1 guy or rally GP, they do their classes a little bit different. Depending on if you have that constant skill level and if you want to sandbag and go down a class, and if you keep getting ranked with your class, so say they let the pro guys out first and then they let the intermediate guys out next, that guy in the top spot on the intermediate class is always going to benefit from the tracks of the pros. So it gives all the advantage to that person versus the guys that are behind him trying to catch him. Now, if everybody is ranked together and started on or based on their rank in time, then that allows them to compete against the guys that are on time on the clock. And then it also allows the guys that are falling behind to become a little bit more competitive by having more tracks to follow. So in the end, it may or may not seem fair to some, but I think that actually plays very well for everybody as far as in the question of fairness, and then it makes it easier on the organization for the most part to just throw out the times and get them listed and out there. So definitely looking forward to today's stage or tonight's stage. We will wake up to the news. And once again, if you haven't already, don't forget, you should also be tuned into the Dakar Daily podcast as well with Jesse and Quinn talking about the stages and interviews and things like that. So it's pretty cool. Obviously, Quinn being in the industry, Jesse as well, is really interesting to hear their interviews and stuff because they have access to a lot of these guys, especially the KTM team, KTM Husqvarna and Gas. So they have some access there, and obviously then, of course, the Ricky Brabeck and the Honda team as well. So definitely excited to see what tomorrow's news brings and what we're doing. So that will be it for today. Short show. Again, just doing stage briefings and trying to bring as much news as I can to it. And we will see you guys for tomorrow's episode. Right about the same time. So once again, we are countdown. Let's see. You know what? Let's go through that one more time. So once again, today's stage. This is officially stage 1 of the 2022 Dakar. 514 kilometers, 333 kilometers of special, and 181 kilometers of liaison for today's event. And they are getting ready to get started. We are now down to 39 minutes and 34 seconds to the first competitor leaving the line. So if you haven't already, we're once again, download the Dakar app and get your favorites on there and get ready. Here we go. All right, that is a wrap for the Chasing Waypoints podcast this week. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like what you heard. We are available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and a bunch of others. Also, follow us on social media. You can find us on Facebook under Chasing Waypoints, Instagram Chasing Waypoints _official, and of course, the YouTube under Chasing Waypoints. Hope everybody has a good week. We will see you guys for the next episode. Remember, shiny side up, and don't forget to tag us. We want to see where you guys are riding and what you guys are up to. Have a great week.